Hey guys, it's Matthew back with going to start on another kit here. I've had this one for about a year, maybe a little better. It was one of those Hobby Lobby sales I got it last year for $7.50 or something like that. But figured I would give it a shot. When it's one of those, it's oh man, you know how that goes. Sometimes they're good, and most of the time they're not. But anyway, thought I'd try it anyway. So I got it all unboxed and molded in black. I mean, it said that it had a sticker, like they were proud of it, on the plastic at least. It says molded in black. I'm thinking, okay, what if you didn't want to paint it a dark color? But anyway, so I got it all unboxed. It's not too bad. Typical MPC fashion. I don't know. You can tell this is an old re-release because you can tell it's got several different ways you could have built it. For instance, so it comes with these oversized wheels for the big desert tires, but it also comes with a set of wheels right here. These won't fit those tires. So it gives you two sets of rims, but only one will fit those big oversized tires. Another thing I noticed, if you look at the hood, don't you just love it how you can see all those marks? Hopefully once it's painted you won't see. But there would have been a cutout there for like a supercharger or carburetors or something to stick through the hood. There's not a supercharger, or there's not a tunnel ram intake to stick through. And then the roof of the truck has where there would have been a sunroof. I don't know. Let's see, I'm not sure if there was there's not even a sunroof with it. So those things, hopefully you won't be able to see it. And one other thing, and maybe you guys can help me out. On the back body, see that notch? It's intentional. I thought when they did it, I was like, wow, that's a terrible job molding. But you'll notice they've got that on the truck. I never saw a truck with that notch like that. I'm not sure what that was for. Maybe you guys can leave something in the comments to tell me what that was for. I'm not sure. But anyway, I will build it up, get started on it. Gonna glue some stuff together. Got all the leaf springs and front and rear axles and all these things. Hopefully it fits kind of good. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna get started. MPC Deserter, or is it a deserter? I don't know. 1984 GMC 125th scale. All right, let's get started. Be back in a flash. Well, I got a little done on it since the last segment. Got the engine painted. It's not in all the way. Just got it lightly coated with orange to give some shadowing. Darn, this looks better in person. But anyway, I got the chassis put together, all the drivetrain in it, and I got it flat black painted. Although this flat black is not so flat. It's more satin to me. And I got the body all in primer. Now the question is, am I going to paint it up, or I was thinking of kind of doing a beater with this thing. I don't know yet. I've got some camo paint. I could camo it out. I could it's a 4x4 and it's an 80 something. What is it? A 84. I mean, let's get real. 84. It's going to see its better days. I think I'm going to weather it, mud it up a little bit, beat it up a little. So I'm going to pause this thing and make my decision, and go from there. But anyway, it is in primer. Chassis and the engine's painted, and I've got my headers. Where are they at? They're down here somewhere. There's one of my headers right here. It's built. There's another one. There it is under my clamp. There's 2 headers. I've got to paint them, get the interior put together. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward beating it up a little bit, making it look like a truck that's been in the mud. Not like muddy, but you know, one that's seen better days. So anyway, all right, I'm going to hit the stop button here, and we'll pick it up here in a little bit. See you in a bit. All right, so I'm definitely going to go with a weathered look. I've already made that decision. So I've got the I'm not going to turn around, but anyway, I got the body painted in a green. And normal fashion, the paint didn't look worth a flip, so that's going to turn out great, being that it doesn't need to look that great. But what I am doing here, if you can tell, so these wheels, I'd rather not use these big fancy chrome wheels on an old beater, but unfortunately with the tires that they give you in this kit, that's all that you can use. Like, you had this other set here, but you can't use them because you don't have any tires to go with them. So these are much larger rims. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I am black washing. So these two haven't been. You can't tell much about it on the camera, but so you can see these are black washed already, and these are not. So I'm going to black wash them, and then I'm going to flat coat it, because this is a, you know, this truck, I'm going to, you know, make it look like it's got some years on it. Same with the grill and the bumpers and the part that goes on tailgate. So I'm going to flat coat them to take that shine away, to make it, and then I'm going to try to rust the chrome somewhat. So same with these wheels, they're not going to be rusted because they look aluminum, but I am going to continue to black wash them, and then I'm going to flat coat them and dirty them up. So that's what my goal is. On the chassis here, I have, let me turn this air conditioner off. On the chassis, you probably can't tell much about it, but I mist coated, well, I don't know if you'd say coated, but I misted the flat black chassis with a dark brown spray paint, a satin. I didn't have a flat, but I did it in a satin. Just misted it. I mean, I just, in my paint booth, I just held it as far away from the spray nozzle as I could, and I just to get a little color. And you can't tell worth a flip on the camera, but if you were in person here, you could see that it's got a little bit of color to it. Now, I don't want to completely rust the whole thing. What I'm going to do, I just want to get a base coat for my weathering. Then I'll come back in with these acrylic paints, mix up some paint to the color I want it to look, and then dry brush it on there just to give it that, again, that rusted, worn look. I'll also go in with I have some, where's it at? Right here. I have mixed up my own rust color, so to wick into certain places. It also kind of gives the effect of a oily substance, so maybe around your differentials, where your pinion seal may be leaking, in the things like that. So just to try and bring out that realistic look, I'll get the engine all put together. I just sprayed the headers, and again, you may not can tell, but yeah, you can tell a little bit better. So the headers I did in that actually, it's that same color I misted the chassis with, so I'm trying to give them a rusted look. I'll go back and do something more to bring out that effect out. But right now, that's what I'm focusing on, is these wheels, this chrome. I want to get it attached to the body so it'll look already weathered, and then I'll go and weather the body as well. And I'll come back and we'll take care of some of that. Okay, so I'm going to flat coat these. This is the next day. I've given my black wash, time to dry, especially in the wheels. I did black wash the grill, but wow, when that stuff dries, it really turns to nothing. So I'm gonna use this Krylon flat clear, and I'm not gonna turn on my vacuum just so I can don't make all that noise. So maybe I won't die of inhalation of this paint, but I'm just gonna give her a flat coat. The wheels, the bumpers, the grill. All I'm doing is just trying to take away that really shiny chrome to make it look like it's got age on it. So that's all I'm doing here. So we'll let that dry and we'll see what it looks like in a little bit. All right, so I got my paint. Got my green paint. Let me show you what kind of paint I use to spray it with. It looks so great. So I use Ace Gloss Enamel Deep Forest. Wow, let me tell you what, when I painted this on there, it looked so nice. Check this out. How does that look? So I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this before, but I've sprayed some other paints, and you get this darn milky finish. It goes on like beautiful, and then it's like it almost it almost looks like it begins to get too cold. You know, like you spray that out of the can, it like becomes cold. It's almost like it draws moisture or something. So anyway, you take this paint and just rub it, and it's like it's got this waxy film on it, which is fine because this is going to be a beater, and that'll just be less work to make it look bad because it already looks terrible. But yeah, this is just so weird that the paint does this. Rub it, and it's like it's got a film, a coating. Don't understand it at all. But anyway, how you like that? So I'll work with it. Got the flat coat on there, made them look nice and old. So mission accomplished there. This grill on this thing, you have to actually paint the headlights. I don't like that because, you know, you have to paint them white or something. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, man, look at that chrome. How flat it looks now. So that's gonna look good. And again, I got the brown paint on the little bit of misted of brown paint on the chassis to help assist with that rusty look, and I'll dry brush it. But I'm gonna get some more things together, some more assembly done. I'll come back, we'll do some weathering. All right, so gonna do a little, I've already done some, I don't know if you can tell or not, but I've already done some dry brushing. So I've got this gray, just some dark gray. Probably do it with some brown as well. But I take my little makeup brush and got my paint here. And dry brushing, you just want the brush, you get it in there, but then you basically knock all the paint off of it. So you don't really have much on it, just a little. And then you just take this thing and start scrubbing it in. You don't want to localize it really. You want it to be even, like dirt and grime from driving this thing in the mud for years. So that's the goal, is to make it look like it's got dirt on it. And when you do that, you get the effect of realism. Then you can go back over this with some browns and some grease. Okay, you start to see how it draws out the elements of it. So again, just do it and get it even. Start light. Don't be heavy on your color, because it's going to make a heck of a mess. If you are too heavy, it's going to be a good thing about water, this acrylic paint though. If you mess up, take it out to the water hose really quick and wash it out. and it'll wash off pretty easy if you haven't waited too long. But this is gray. This is kind of just what this color does. It just kind of picks out details. And then go over with some browns, whatever other color you choose for the oil. And there you go. All right, so there's my gray. So you're just trying to get it to look used. Mission accomplished. Just get it all around. All right, so we'll get some gray or some brown now, and get a little shot of brown. Not too much. You can start with just a little tidbit. You just fine. Take it. This ain't Bob Ross. We're not wanting to fill the brush with color. I love to watch Bob Ross, but we sure ain't painting a Bob Ross picture. So you want as little as possible of color in the brush, so you can't even really tell there's anything in that. And then we're gonna go over it. Start going over that gray now. Oh yeah. Now that is looking good, because that's looking like road grime. Gives it that little bit of color that we need. This thing's been bogged out, not been clean like it should. Just knock the paint off of it. It's kind of counterintuitive. We put paint on and then try and get it all off, which is just how you have to do it. We'll go back in and we'll pick out the shocks. Probably should have done that first so they could also have the color on, but I haven't done it. Yeah, this looks really good as far as the color goes, because now we're truly getting dirt road, mud bogged out color. And I like to use this big brush and not a little brush, because you can just cram it in there, you know, and it's just going to get where it gets. So it's a bit uneven. If you're using a small brush, you're going to have a tendency to, you know, localize where you're at. Where this one, it's a very broad brush and it's nice and soft. It's a makeup brush. I've said on the videos before, if you go to Dollar General, Family Dollar, something like that, this is a Beauty Accents angle brush. Just make sure, guys, when you're looking at the makeup, when you're checking out, that they know you're doing this for models and not for your own makeup. They may be a little worried. Well, some people like that kind of stuff, which to each his own. So anyway, yeah, it's looking good. A little color, got a little road grime. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, on to the next project. Okay, so a few little extra things I wanted to show you before I got it all together, because a lot of times you get these things together, you can't see a lot. So with my engine, although I still got to paint my starter, but you black wash. This one's okay. So this is a beater, right? This is an old stock 350 that's just been run hard. Okay, that's what the plan is. So I just I'm gonna paint the carburetor, but I just black washed the fire out of it, and because I want it to look like it's, you know, leaking oil everywhere. So I just put it real heavy on the oil pan, because you know it's all going to run down. And I wanted to do the black washing before I put my plug wires on. So I've already cut my plug wires, my little distributors right there. Got my headers painted. They look really, I think they look really good. I painted them the brown, and then I touched them up. Took a little brush and this brown paint here, and just kind of splattered the brown on it to give it that rusty look. So it's going to turn out nice. It's going to look rusty. But if you get your plug wires on, before you do your black washer, if you want to dirty it up, it's going to be more difficult because you're going to have the plug wires in the way. So, oh, and another thing, I got one of the wheels together after I black washed it first, then flat coated it, and I think it looks great. I scuffed my tires, but I'm going to take and dirty the sidewalls up as well. But I think that I think it turned out great as far as the look that I was looking for, just grungy, you know, not shiny aluminum, but you know, just not taken care of. So I think that that's going to look good. Yeah, I got my tires, scuffed them all up. But anyway, and some other chrome pieces that I flat coated. So just an update. See what we get. Try to get the distributor in now. All right, so I got the engine not installed. I just got it sitting here, but I've got it wired, and it turned out looking pretty good. I could not use the headers. I had to go and put on the manifolds. Well, come on, focus. So let me touch this darn thing, make it focus. There we go. So I had to use the manifolds, which I rusted them up, which they don't look that bad. I got my plug wires on it, and yeah, the reason I couldn't use the headers right there, they don't send the exhaust for the headers. They send the exhaust for the manifolds. Here's the exhaust. They don't send the one that fits for the headers. So it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to make a custom exhaust. I'll use what's there, and it works as long as you use that. So I got the, like I say, got it in. Got the, I don't know what's up with this camera. It's not wanting to zoom, or it's not wanting to focus. I got it greased up. The bottom of it looks nice and oily. It actually looks pretty good. The oil filter they sent for it, way too big to fit there. I'm still going to dirty up the transmission. But you know, this old rusty or greasy old small block Chevy don't look bad, to be honest with you. I think it looks pretty darn good. And then I'm going to use the stock breather. I'll dirty it up and get it on there. So this ought to turn out to be a pretty neat looking old truck. See how the paint looks horrible? But for the theme that I was going with, just an old beater, it's going to look pretty good. So I got my roll bar chromed up. I've got some other parts here that are painted that I've still yet to put on. I use toothpicks, and then that corrugated plastic that I use for my my booth here. It works good to just put all those parts when you want to paint them. But yeah, the body, to be honest with you, it's not looking that bad, because I'm gonna dirty it up with some, you know, mud, dirt, and grime and things like that. Once I get all the parts on it, it's gonna look pretty darn good. The dashboard. So anyway, all right, guys. I'm not going to make this a two-part video because it's just going to go too long. So I'm going to end it here. Part 1. When we come back, part 2, we'll have a few of the, you know, loose ends to finish up, and we'll have a completed kit on the next video. So hey, if you won't mind, give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys for subscribing. My subscriptions, you know, they're slow, but steady. It keeps increasing. I really appreciate that. Once in a while I'll see it decrease 1 or 2, but for the most part it's increased on a slow snail's pace, but nevertheless it has increased. So thanks for the views, thanks for the subscribing. Yeah, guys, comment, tell me what you think. I appreciate it, guys. See ya on part 2. Bye.